Good evening.
Good evening.
Time and opportunity gives me a great pleasure to address to you why I want to be City Council of Ward 7. I, Felicia Mann Breland, declare my candidacy for the City of Laurel, Ward 7. I'm a former member of the City Council of Laurel of Ward 7, 2006-2007. I realize that Ward 7 has serious concerns, and I'm committed to working very hard in the areas of communicating back to Ward 7. I am not a candidate that make long campaign promises. You might call it a family affair. I am the daughter of Mrs. Lizzie Mann. She has been in business as a hairdresser for over 60 years in Ward 7. I am the mother of 2 children, Bianca Mann and Larry Breland. Both of me and my children, we are products of Laurel School District. I'm also a graduate of Jackson State University. Education is my platform tonight. I will address Ward 7 especially because the majority of the students that attend Laurel School District are from Ward 7. I will see that it will happen. My work is for the betterment of Ward 7. My accomplishments and affiliations are, I was class of leadership Jones County 2007. I was on the policy board of Friends of Children of Mississippi, of Jackson State Alumni. I'm a member of Theta Nu Sigma Sorority, National Beauty Cultures League, and Federation of Democratic Women of Mississippi. During my tenure as Ward 7, as the representative, I worked very hard to develop 2 new houses on Lee Street and Julian, and alleys were paved in those areas. I'm an advocate of Boston Park. New playground equipment was donated. J.H. Spriggs Lee's Recreational Oak Park Historical Landmark signs A.W. Watson and Ball Park and the Ralph Boston Park and walking trail was also established by Let's Go Walk in Mississippi. I really have a passion for Ward 7. I'm a candidate with vision, energy, and public policy experience needed to develop the City of Laurel to a molded city. My priorities are communicating with the citizens of Ward 7 to the city government, improve roads, infrastructure, education and government, work closely with the fire department, the police department, and the recreation department. If elected, I will ensure that you have a voice in City Hall, and you will receive vital information back to Ward 7. I ask myself, as the commercial on WGAM, who do you want to be? I, Felicia Mann Breland, want to be City Councilwoman of Ward 7. On May 7, 2013, vote for Felicia Mann Breland, City Council, Ward 7. Thank you.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? First, just let me thank WAM, the Chronicle, Laurel High School, and that wonderfully awesome color guard. It's a pleasure being here this afternoon, and we appreciate your giving us this time to bring our vision to the people of this city and to our respective wards. I am Mary Caraway Edmondson. It's so good to be here. My husband, former Councilman Thaddeus Edmondson, is here. My daughter, Officer Caraway, is here. My son, Corey, is here. He's with the Lord, but he's with me now more than anything. My beautiful grandkids are here, Corey and Juana. It's good to see all of you today. A lot has been said tonight, and that lets me know one thing, that it's going to take all of us working together to do the things that we say we need and want to do for Laurel, Mississippi. Over a span of 25 years, I've lived in Laurel, Mississippi. 23 of those years, I lived in Ward 7. I'm kind of like Big Ben. Upon coming to Laurel, I visited, before I moved here, I visited so many streets and areas, and I said, oh my God, this is an awesome place to live. You go down the streets, and the houses were so immaculate, and the trees would hang over and meet each other, and up on the avenues that I want to ride there every Sunday because it was just an awesome, awesome place to live. I believe that Laurel can be that way again. And this is my passion. Over the span of 25 years, I worked diligently with senior citizens and dislocated workers to assist them in finding employment. And I also work with organizations and companies.
Miss Edmondson, excuse me, I am so sorry. We've lost you. Reverend Bridges, there he is. We need to replace that. Just a moment. I'm so sorry.
Is that messing with my time? No, I'm just kidding. All right, now, this is try it now. Okay,
Perfect. And I have given you the additional time.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Over the last 25 years, I have given myself to service to Laurel, Mississippi. I work with senior citizens, older dislocated workers, in training them and putting them back to work. I work with companies and organizations and made them see the importance of hiring people with experience and giving other people second chances. Over that period of time, I assisted in obtaining and directing summer programs, prevention intervention programs for our youth in Ward 7, providing jobs, travel, recreational activities, and the art of farming, yes, farming. I served 3 years as Jones County Coordinator for the Youth Challenge Program at Camp Shelby, where young people from right here in Laurel, Mississippi and surrounding areas were given a second chance at a better life. While serving 12 years on the Executive Board of Directors for Pearl River Valley Opportunity, I have facilitated the purchase of property directly in front of Stanton School to bring in the first development of single-family tax credit homes, constantly working with funding sources to ensure that Laurel and Jones County continue to receive energy assistance and other services for the elderly and the low income. I applied for and received, while employed with the City of Laurel under Mayor Mack, a Mississippi Development Authority first-time homeowner grant in the amount of $500,000 to assist qualified homebuyers with a $25,000 down payment assistance to purchase their homes. I assisted qualified applicants to secure property within the City of Laurel and facilitated the building of their brand new homes with no down payment through USDA Rural Development. That's some of the things that I've done since being here in the City of Laurel. As your council person, I will be independent and courageous enough to make the wisest and best decisions for the city and for the community. As your council person, I will study and interpret proposals set by the administration in order to halt or assist in the development of such. I will seek the advice of you, the constituency, on all critical matters before casting your vote. As your council person, I will be civil and conciliatory without surrendering the best interest of you, the people, especially those without the resources or the influence to otherwise secure what is just and fair for themselves or their neighborhoods. As your council person, I will seek to secure resources to assist in addressing affordable housing, housing rehabilitation, summer programs, and jobs for our youth. I will secure that development. I will assure you that I will work to see that any development coming into the city is strategically placed in our city, and assure that city services are distributed equally and fairly. I will work with the administration to assure a sound and balanced budget. As your council person, I will aggressively address the need for better streets, flood and drainage issues in Ward 7. I will address the need for sidewalks in Ward 7 that will not only add value to our neighborhoods, but add safety for our children. As your council person, I will organize neighborhood committees and will meet with you on a monthly basis to share information, to address your concerns, take your comments and suggestions. I will be available as needed for emergency meetings for matters of critical importance. I believe a more informed people make a more supportive people.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to give praise and thanks to God, first of all, and all of the supporters today. First of all, I'd like to say I am a 34-year-old young black male with no felony. Second of all, I stay in one of the biggest, under-smothered, negative ward, well, let me rephrase it, I stay in Queensborough. When you say that word there, people get scared. And I'm one candidate that's here to change the stereotype about Ward 7. And not just about the stereotype, but some of my issues that I have with Ward 7 that I have dealt with for over 15 plus years or more is one, flooding. The biggest thing in Ward 7 is not just the sewer in the roads, it's also the flooding. And something that I would love to do and implement as city council would be a relief fund or a levy system for the lower end of Ward 7. With that in place, that would not just help homeowners flood and home insurance, but it will also help and save our kids that attend Kingstar in the curve. And implementing the pond relief, working with city, county, state, Masonite, and the federal government to get this done will better Ward 7 infrastructure. Second of all, the sewer and water line, we're most definitely on the far end of the sewer line. I lived in South Park Village for over 15 plus years. Me, my wife, the residents of South Park Village shared an apartment with raw sewage every heavy rain. When I say raw sewage, sharing, in the tub, your sink, everything. And for our city government to have already had money implemented for these type of things, but didn't do what they supposed to do with the money, because I'm gonna let y'all know, when the city asks for money for different projects, 95% of that money doesn't go to the actual labor. It goes to Neil Schaefer, one of the biggest contractors in Laurel that has made millions of dollars off our taxpayers' money, when there's other contractors out there that probably could provide lower bids, but due to the fact that it's moms and pop system that goes on in the city that has smothered our city, right now, it's sad. People like Neil Schaefer, United Waters, that's murdering our taxpayers' dollars, all because of the buddy system that our previous administration has allowed them to do, has to come to a stop. Another thing that I want to address about Ward 7 would be the unity and the connection with the Laurel Police Department. My biggest issue with the Laurel Police Department, and don't get me wrong, we do have good officers as well as we do have bad officers. All this is not applied to y'all good officers, but the ones that was here that are bad officers, I'm here to let you know we're no longer gonna tolerate the abuse that we have to receive when y'all have a call to Ward 7. Because when they get a call to Ward 7, it's like they have a chip on their shoulders. And it's not letting no personal vendetta with the whole police department, but it is some officers. And then to the media, y'all have hurt our ward by reporting incidents in our wards that doesn't have anything to do with the citizens that live in that ward. Y'all are the reason why Ward 7 is so negative. Don't get me wrong, we do have citizens that do things in Ward 7, but it's not the ones that live there, it's the ones that visit. So that cloud, that dark cloud that has been over us for years, I'm the candidate to remove that. I also want to bring in new home development. I want to build the infrastructure up in Ward 7 to market Ward 7 for business, homes, and multiple living quarters. We have only several businesses in Ward 7 that has been there forever, and I'd like to recommend Mr. Cole and Mr. Ellis. But as a city, if we depend on Sanderson Farm, Wayne's, Howard, all these major industries for our well-being as a city, and you take them away, we're just like Detroit. So as a city and as city councilman, I would like to bring more business, not just restaurants, but major business that will allow people to have jobs and live comfortable and generate something where we don't have to depend on these cities. And then our streets, we need to have concrete streets instead of asphalt. It might seem like it costs a lot, but in the long run, it will be cheaper. My name is Felix Fenderson, and my slogan is vote for change and not the same, because same has killed us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Booth.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's been a long time. We waited for a long time for this opportunity to stand before you. To WDAM and to the Chronicle newspaper and to Laurel High School and to all of you who have come out this evening and take out the busy schedule to come and to share this program with us. I'm certainly pleased to have the opportunity to stand here today. Amen. As I come, I want to announce the fact that I am a candidate for councilman for Ward 7. Ward 7 is a great ward. I ran for this council seat the last term. We did not win, but it did not stop work. We kept the process going. We established the drug court here in Laurel with a group of people that we organized by the name of the Laurel Citizen for a Better Government for the state of Mississippi. We have we established programs to help maintain the recreation program when the city reduced the amount of services that we had in Ward 7. My church and many members across Ward 7 came together and we kept the program up and running and made sure that the young folks had things to do across the summer months. Our church also established summer enrichment programs to help our children to maintain their status across the summer months. We know that we lose a lot of their educational strength during those months that they're off. So we established the summer enrichment programs, English, math, science, reading. Also, we taught how to talk with people and how to communicate with one another, how to use conflict resolution rather than to use your fist. We also made sure that we addressed the infrastructure in our area, which many of the candidates already have addressed. We know that the infrastructure is bad in our area, and we know that water runs from the north to the south, not south to the north. We started the process right in front of my church on Anderson Street, along with the help from the council person previously, Trey Chin. We managed to put new pipes and new water lines in to increase the water pressure. We realized that you cannot help someone else if you don't help yourself, and we started the process there. Along with all of that, these are programs that we have already done. And I just want to let you know that we've done it unofficially, but now we want to be official and make the program and start working with the city in order to make the program a little bit better. If I'm elected, and when I'm elected as the councilman for Ward 7, we would again increase our economic development program. We realize that small businesses is the backbone of any community. We have Sanderson Farms and Howards and all those industries. My grandmother used to say there's more more mosquitoes in the woods than elephants. In other words, there are more small people than there are big people. So we need to have more small businesses and develop programs where we can increase small businesses and bring them into the community. We need to clean up our community to make sure that our community is cleaned up so that we can increase the property value and increase the homes in our area. We need to have public transportation where we can make sure that our citizens who do not drive is able to get to the various locations in our city, get to Walmart, go to the health, take care of their health care programs and take care of their businesses and pay their bills in the downtown area. These are just some of the things we want to do. Also, we want to also make sure that we work with our council men and women that would be on the council seat as we go forward. You know, it was also said that there's 60% is better than no percent. And also, we know that we can't have everything, but if we work with the councils that are there, we believe that we'll be able to accomplish some of the things that we need to have done in our community. So we're looking forward to working with you, looking forward to making some changes, looking forward to improving on some of the programs that we already had in our city. And we want to just also thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak on May 7th, elect and vote for Jerry James, Council for Ward 7.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Melvin Mack. I grew up in Queensboro. Still have a mother, a father passed on, nieces, nephews, cousins, own property in Queensboro. That's a wonderful place. I have a BS degree from Mississippi Valley State University, a master's degree from Jackson State University, and further studied at Southern Illinois University in Illinois. I'm a 1968 graduate of Oak Park High School. I served 2 terms as a Dodge City Council, 2 terms as a Board of Supervisors, and 2 terms, hopefully 3 terms. My 3rd is coming up, hopefully, as Mayor of Laurel, Mississippi. You know, I got to give our police department the credit where credit is due. Every time a police car, a siren comes on or the door swings open, or they speed up the highway somewhere, somebody's life is in danger, and those people save our life. Let me say one other thing. The FBI study states that, you know, Laurel is one of the safest cities in the state to live. We've only had 1 homicide in 8 years, and I wish we had time just to give our police department a great big round of applause. You know, I grew up. You know, I grew up in Queensboro. I grew up in South Queensboro, 1 block from Brown Circle, where my mother still lived. The old homestead is still there. And once a year, and this is 35, 40, even 50 years ago, once a year, every year, we call it the Easter flood. It came just like clockwork, you know, it flooded everything and everybody that was coming that way. It was doing it then, and it's still doing it now. And there are so many things and I wish everyone up here could serve on the city council, just to see how difficult it is. It's so easy to get up here and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, do that. But when the federal government comes in and says, you're not going to do it, then the citizens, a lot of times the citizens throw us a curveball, a trick question. I want my street fixed, I want my street fixed, I want my curb, I want my curb fixed, I want my curb, I want this fixed, I want this, I want the school buses. Do that. Okay, we're going to do it right now. But don't raise our taxes, okay? So this is what we're up against, and I feel like, we're headed in the right direction. Let me give you one more example. I'll give you an example, what was the most talked about thing on TV yesterday, or the day before yesterday? The GE plan. And you wonder why the GE plant was placed in Ellisville and further in Jones County. I give you one reason. If you look at that board of supervisors, that board of aldermen and the mayor, no one is running against them. Why? Because they're doing a good job. Not to say that we're not doing a good job, but we have got to come together as a board, as a city. Laurel High School, the city of Laurel, Dr. Domingo, we got the first new school in about 40 years of the city of Laurel, Mississippi. Dr. Domingo has done a sensational job. Laurel High School is by far one of the best schools in this state and in this nation, and we will put them up against anyone. Oh. What we have got to do, we have got to start working together. It's going to take 4 people to do anything. Willie, Carmichael, and Manuel and I went to Washington 4 times in 2 months. 4 times in 2 months. And sometimes we brought money back, sometimes we didn't. But I guarantee you, we spent a lot of time on the road. Manuel was scared to fly, so we had to ride a train. It took 2 days to get there, 2 days to get there, and he was happy. But we still were there. We received funding, we received money. We met our congressional delegation, we met the president. Willie Evans was almost arrested by going across the security line. We'll talk to Hillary Clinton. But we had good times in there. But we brought money back to this city here, and we'll continue. So look at on Tuesday, May the 7th, on Melvin Mack. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Wash, were you thinking about changing your name? Mr. Wash.
Yes. Good afternoon. I want to thank WJM and the Chronicle and Laurel High for sponsoring us this night. We have a great opportunity facing us. We have a wonderful opportunity. Let's not squander it. We have a chance to vote in a Ward 7 person, and that would be in for your interest. He's other people, for the people, by the people. Why I say that is because I am for the people, because I am a Ward 7. I'm for you 100%. I'm there for you whenever you need me. I'm a council. I'm an ex-council person, and I've also coached Pee Wee football for 33 years, doing that time and doing other time. I worked in Mason like 41 years. 33 years I mentored your children. I mentored girls and boys, cheerleaders, football players. I mentored a whole host of people. People on this podium talk about children. I was about children. Children of my life work. They're our future. And I'm saying that to say that I could go on to tell you about all my accolades here, Oak Park graduate, Oak Park alumni, served on the next executive committee. 7 children: Latrice, Dora, David, Junior, Keontae, Joseph, Stephanie, Hadley, Queen Chapel, Board of Trustees, and all these good things. Worked on the fairground board. But anyway, I'd be remiss in not discuss the major issues that facing Ward 7. Ward 7 faces one of the major issues that no other ward seems to endure. We have one of the only problems that only synonymous on the Ward 7. Flood. Flood is just like a wolf stalking your heels, nipping at your heel, and coming at you. You can't wait. You can wait for it, and every time, right out there, it's raining. It rained 3 days. We got inches. It rained 3 days over a whole Laurel, 1 or 2 inches. These inches bounce up. Laurel downhill, at the bottom of hill, Ward 7. We at Ward 7 suffer this indignity year in and year out. But one time, in our bright future, about 10 years, we did without flooding. Why is that? There's a reason why. I know the reason why. But we have to now go back in with a vengeance. And we need to do something about that. There's a young lady back there, my daughter, Helen Grace Wash. She's an asthmatic, and her mother lives down there in Ward 7. Water got up 4 feet. Her daddy cut the board out around the wall, and they molded it, and he replaced all that. Anyway, they moved out in the rural area because it created mold. And other people live down there, elderly people, young people, Malachi, all the people you play with live down there, and just put a face to some of these things. We talk about flood, but flood creates problems. And these problems are for people, asthmatic, old people and stuff, has a problem with this. And we don't do anything about this, nothing else but this. Ward 7 got to be brought along with the other ward. I mean, Ward 7 is like an emerald city, a bright and shining star. It cannot be looked over or ignored. This should be brought along with whole Laurel. If whole Laurel advances, Ward 7 must advance. But we can't leave Ward 7 home behind. You get to my church, where I'm trustee on the board, and Queen Chapel Church is down here. You see it going down here. Water travel down here. It's simple arithmetic. And you sit there, and we sit. I'm on the high ground. I'm in my comfort zone. I have no problem. I look down there, people walk with a Laurel and Queensboro and say, good luck with that. But I time out for that. The time out, we sitting in our high and mighty places are warm and our comfort zone and living well. Those people down there in that Laurel and Queensboro are suffering. They have poor s'mores that's going in their houses, that's building, and we are not doing it. We sat on this council and mentioned something about it briefly, just to say we're concerned, but it's time out for act like we're concerned, do something about it. This bottle here represents the structure of Laurel. Laurel is like this, and this bottle here creates that here is Ward 7. Ward 7 it's got smaller pipes than the upper end of Laurel, and that creates a bottleneck. And when that happens, that means flooding. And when flooding takes place, all of us are affected. I mean, we just can't ignore this because it won't go away. It's with us every night and day. And I'm a proud ex-coach and president of the football league. Some of my players, Jermaine is not here, and one of my players, Trey Chin, and a lot of others. I'm proud of them, and I'm a people person, I'm a doer. I want to put in a playground area over there in the airport drive area for those kids that over there don't have to cross over the railroad track to get to Boston Park. And Boston Park is a wonderful place, a fine place. May I also add, it has been well manicured and kept up by Elvis and his crew and the city of Laurel. But anyway, moving right along, we have an obligation, a duty to everyone in Laurel, Ward 7 and Laurel as whole. We gonna win. We must win. We all gonna have to win for Laurel to win. And I want you to vote for me for Ward 7 councilman. Thank you.